Hi, I'm Rich. I'm from Elite Brands Incorporated. We're the company that markets Rokinon, Xeen, as well as Samyang lenses. And the big question that we're getting all the time is, what's the difference between all of our Cine lenses? So I'm here to tell you finally what the difference is. Originally, about 3.5, 4 years ago, we came out with our original line of Cine lenses, which are based on our photo lenses, which are very popular. We came out with the Cine or Rokinon Cine lens line. It consisted of about 7, 8 lenses, and what their differences are compared to our photo lenses are advantages that are needed by the cinematographer, which are declicked apertures, calibration and T-stops. They have manual focusing, which is very smooth and damped, and tight color matching. The original Cine lenses, although they had gearing for follow focus devices, when you would change it from one lens to another, they might not be all in the same place, the gears. So you might have to readjust your gears. So, although they were received very well, we saw that we could make improvements on them. So about 1.5 years ago, we came out with the Cine DS line of lenses, which it looks like this. It consists of now 10 lenses. Now, what the differences are between the Cine and the Cine DS lenses are the following. Although they still have the same coatings and the color matching is held tight, they're holding the color matching on the Cine DS line to even slightly tighter tolerances than on the Cines. The other difference is what the DS stands for. The DS on the Cine DS line stands for dual scale. So on the right and the left side of the lenses, the aperture and focusing scales appear, where on the original Cine line, they only appeared on the right side. Then the big difference between the Cine and the Cine DS's is that the gearing for the focus and the aperture rings are all in the same place across the entire 10 line of lenses. So when you change lenses, and if you're using a follow focus device, you don't have to reorient your gears on your follow focus device. Then a big difference also is we came out last year with a 12mm full frame T3.1 fisheye lens, the only one of its kind in the world for cinematography that's only available as a Cine DS. We came out with a 50mm T1.5, which isn't available as a Cine, it's available only as a Cine DS. We came out with a 100mm T3.1 macro that gets down to 1:1, well, life size of macro, that only comes out as a Cine DS lens. And finally, we came out with a 135mm T2.2 telephoto, which is also only available as a Cine DS line. So that's the major differences between Cine and Cine DS's, which I hope I answered. But now comes the big boys, the difference between the Cine DS's and the new Xeen lenses, which look like this, and that's the current lineup. The Xeen line came out in September of 2015, and it's been widely accepted in a very short amount of time, even though initially it came out only with a 24, 50, and 85mm lens. But as of this month, which is March 2016, we added a 14mm as well as a 35mm T1.5. So what's the difference between the Xeen line and Cine DS's? Well, first of all, they have 3-year guarantees. They're all metal, totally metal. Every part of it is metal. The whole mechanical design is totally different, which means, for one thing, besides being able to hold up over constant use and hard use, the way that it's designed, the breathing is almost non-existent to very minimal. The coatings on the lens are totally different than on the Cine or Cine DS lenses. The gearing, though, is all in the same spots like the Cine DS, even on the 14 millimeter, which looks shorter, but the gearing is in the same spot, so you don't have to move or reorient your follow focus device. The lengths in each mount that they come in, which are PL, Nikon, Canon, Micro Four Thirds, and Sony E, in a given mount, the lengths of all the lenses are the same. The gearing, again, is all in the same spot. The diameters are all the same. The focus throw and the aperture throws are also all the same. And they, by the way, they all use 114 millimeter diameter size matte boxes, including the 14 millimeter. So the only thing different on the 14 millimeter compared to your other lenses of the same mount is that the length is a little different, but otherwise everything else is the same. Now, if people ask, why should we buy Xeens? We're not that familiar with them as of yet compared to the competition. Well, in most cases, in all the tests that have been done and in real world use, they meet or beat the competition in breathing. The color rendition is a little bit different than some. It's a little bit, we're being told on one test, a neutral test, it's a little green, where the Zeisses come out magenta, but in color processing afterwards, you can neutralize that so they look the same. The big difference is that the Xeens sell on the street for $24.95, not $44.95, $54.95, or $20,000. That's one big difference. And the other big difference is we give a 3-year guarantee while the others give a 1-year guarantee. So in essence, if you shot with a set of Xeens and major motion pictures are already being shot with Xeens, you will not be able to probably tell the difference. The only difference you'll be able to tell is in your pocketbook, where you have more money possibly to spend on the production or a different camera. So I hope that I was able to answer most of the questions that people have been asking about what the differences are between Rokinon Cine, Cine DS, and the Rokinon Xeen line of lenses. If you would like to find out more information about any of our lenses, whether they be the Cine, Cine DS, or Xeen lenses, or even our Rokinon photo lenses, you can catch us on the web at rokinon.com or xeenusa.com, or you could become one of our almost 500,000 followers on Facebook on rokinonfacebook.com, and also we have a new Facebook site for Xeen, xeenusa.com.